Hello and welcome back to Swing Trading Bootcamp by Wealthy Education. In this video, we're going to take a look at how to trade Bollinger Band breakouts with MACD and increased volume. Now, the Bollinger Band indicators, which you see overlaying price, it's a 20 moving average with two other lines, and the area in between is the two standard deviations. Remember the bell curve from math class? That is the 20-day EMA, or the SMA, which is just the simple moving average. And then that's your 2 times deviation. So 2 standard deviations. Most trading will fall within this range, if you remember correctly. So the idea is once you get a little bit stretched out, the market should kind of come back to the SMA. But there are other ways to use it. So for example, you can see that the moving average is starting to turn up. We obviously have a bit of resistance here. You can see all these wicks on these candlesticks. We get a strong candlestick that closes just outside of the Bollinger Band, so that means we've made more than a 2 standard deviation move. We have a spike in volume, which means there's conviction behind this. And of course, it's an earnings day, and you'll see that quite often. And beyond that, the histogram is very positive. So clearly, Citigroup looks as if it's trying to turn things around. That is a perfect example of a spike in volume, the histogram on the MACD changing, plus you see that we also had the quicker of the moving averages on the MACD cross the signal line as well. So that's also a minor bullish symbol. Strong candlestick, good volume, multitude of reasons to think that we were going higher. Here in Apple, very similar setup. There's a gap here. This was not an earnings play, but we do have strong volume, stronger than the most recent action, save one day. We have the signal lines crossing over the zero signal line, and the histogram positive. Closing outside of the Bollinger Band shows real strength, more than 2 times standard deviation, and you can see it led to a move much higher. Play around with your indicators, but they do tend to lead nice trading opportunities if you get a confluence of different signals. And in this case, you can see the moving average turning up, volume spike, lines crossing the zero line in the MACD, and the MACD histogram being positive, all signs that momentum was building to the upside. That being the case, it does work in both directions. You can see that we got a breakdown here. We did close below here. A little bit of a volume spike, a little bit of a histogram, but you can see it wasn't as big of a move as this one was. And quite frankly, that's not surprising. The histogram itself wasn't really that strong at that point. The moving averages were negative, so not that it didn't work out, it just wasn't as strong. The taller the histogram, the more outside of the Bollinger Bands that we closed, the longer the candlestick, the more impressive the signal.